Hello, everyone, and good evening to you all. My name is Felton Parker. Today is Thursday, August 29th, 2024. As always, each day is a wonderful day to be blessed by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I sincerely hope you folks had a truly blessed and wonderful Thursday. What I have for you guys in tonight's video is the list of all the National Day holidays from my National Day calendar segment. That includes my featured National Day holiday. Also tonight in my weather segment, I will let you all know exactly what we are expecting for tomorrow, which is Friday, the entire upcoming weekend, the entire Labor Day weekend, which also does include your Labor Day holiday, which is Monday, and also through much of the remainder of next week. So without further ado, on this Thursday night, let's get things started here as I open up my National Day calendar segment. And of course, one of my featured National Day calendar holidays from today is that today was National Lemon Juice Day. Today was National Lemon Juice Day. When the sun is blazing high in the sky, National Lemon Juice Day comes along just in time to bring a refreshing squeeze to just about anything. On this day, celebrate with a tart drop of lemon juice in your cooking beverages or freshen up the world around you. So lemon juice may look like lemonade to you, but naturally it's not. Hashtag National Lemon Juice Day. These brightly colored sour fruits originated in the Himalayan mountains millions of years ago. However, they have evolved since then, and today the citrus fruit is grown commercially in temperate climates. In the United States, California and Arizona produce more lemons than any other state. Why lemon juice? Why do we love lemons so much? Is it because we enjoy watching a baby's face scrunch up at their first taste of the lemon juice? Well, we do, but that is not the only reason. In cooking, the acid in lemon juice enhances the flavors. Add lemon juice to a salad dressing and suddenly your salad goes from ho-hum to wow. In a sauce, the addition of lemon juice will transform it from being something that drowns a meal to something that brightens it. This one ingredient can save an entire dish. The same applies to beverages. Lemon juice adds punch to teas, soda, and even water. But it also adds an extra level of flavor for mixed drinks, bourbon, tequila, gin, cognac, vodka. Save all those because I don't drink. They all have recipes that call for lemon juice, and that's because without it, the drink would be missing a vital element to the cocktail. Every bartender worth their salt has fresh lemons behind the bar. Alternatively, when paired with honey and a hot beverage, lemon juice soothes a sore throat and cough. But lemon juice doesn't stop there. No way. This powerhouse also makes us and our homes look good too. Everything from home remedies to cleansers using lemon juice can be found on the internet. While you might not want to use fresh lemons, say for those cooking and beverages, you can use bottled to save a few pennies. The fresh scent of lemon will also lift your mood as you brighten your pots and pans, clean your pores and windows, and make your garbage disposal smell fresh again. While you're at it, you should probably pour yourself a chilled glass of lemonade too. So here's how to observe Lemon Juice Day. Squeeze up some lemons. Reap the benefits of this refreshingly versatile fruit. There's so many ways to celebrate, so where will you start? Give a baby a slice of lemon. Stop by your favorite bakery for the best lemon baked goods. You know, lemon meringue pie, lemon poppy seed muffins, or lemon pound cake with a lip-puckering icing. Try your hand at making limoncello. It takes time and patience, but it is also one very satisfying experience when done correctly. If you start now and make enough, you can give some of it away. If you start now and make enough, you can give some of it away as Christmas gifts. Celebrate the bright, beautiful freshness of lemon juice by using hashtag National Lemon Juice Day on social media. So, here's some key facts about lemon juice. So as you know, most lemon trees produce fruit all year long. Okay, first fact. Winter lemons in season. Most lemon trees produce fruit all year long. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice contains 3 calories. The acid in lemon juice neutralizes an enzyme called polyphenol oxidase that causes fruit to brown. So, like the old saying, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So that's my topic to you guys on behalf of National Lemon Juice Day. And also today was National Chop Suey Day. Hope you've gotten your chopsticks ready for this day. This day has been National Chop Suey Day, and we recognize in American Chinese culinary cuisine each year on this day. Hashtag National Chop Suey Day. Chop suey, which means assorted pieces, is a dish in American Chinese cuisine. The main ingredients include meat such as chicken, fish, beef, prawns, or pork, and eggs. As the meat cooks over high heat, add vegetables, usually beans, sprouts, cabbage, and celery. The dish is bound in a starch-thickened sauce. Typically, rice accompanies this flavorful dish too. According to food historian Alan Davidson, chop suey is a prime example of culinary mythology. These food myths happen with popular foods. There's an illustration of several colorful and conflicting stories telling of chop suey's possible origin. Some believe chop suey was invented in America by Chinese Americans. However, anthropologist Ian Anderson finds another conclusion. According to Anderson, the word chop suey means miscellaneous leftovers and hails from Taishan, a district of Guangdong province. Many early Chinese immigrants traveled from their home in Taishan to the United States. Another account claims Chinese American cooks who were working on the Transcontinental Railroad invented chop suey in the 19th century. One tale stemming from the Qing dynasty connects to Premier Li Hongzhang's visit in 1896. According to the story, his chef wanted to create a meal suitable for both the Chinese and American palates. Another version of the story tells that Li wandered to a local Chinese restaurant after the hotel kitchen closed. Despite feeling embarrassed because he had nothing prepared to offer, the chef made a dish for Li. Comprised of leftover scraps, the chef created the new chop suey dish. Still another myth tells of an 1860s Chinese restaurant cook in San Francisco. When drunken miners arrived after hours, the chef avoided a beating thanks to some quick thinking. He threw leftovers in a wok, providing a makeshift meal to the miners. The miners loved the dish, asking him for the name of the entree, to which the chef replied, chop suey. Traveling to the United States in 1903, Lin Oisho, a Guangdong native, wrote that there existed a food item called chop suey. While regularly served by Chinese restaurateurs, the local Chinese people did not eat his dish. So did you enjoy some chop suey? So the directive of the day would be to enjoy the chop suey. So here's some suggestions. Take a cooking class and learn to make it yourself. Pick up a Chinese American cookbook and find a new recipe. Share your favorite chop suey recipe. Give a shout out to the restaurant that cooks it best. So, is chop suey a type of stir fry? Chop suey. Yeah, stir fry. About stir fry. Stir fry is a type of meal prepared over high heat while being stirred frequently, and chop suey is prepared this way. National Egg Roll Day is June 10th. Chop suey can be served over noodles, but typically it is served over rice. Rice, and of course, by the way, rice has fewer calories than noodles. When considering the entire chop suey dish, about half the calories come from the protein. Rice comprises about a quarter of the calories, and the remaining calories come from the sauce and vegetables. So that's part of that. That's part of my National Day calendar segment here on this Thursday night. Not only was today National Lemon Juice Day and National Chop Suey Day, today also was according to Hoyle Day. And also another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. You know, of course, today, of course, August 29th, today, of course, marks a very somber anniversary. So today, of course, marks the 19th anniversary of a very devastating hurricane that affected parts of the Louisiana Gulf Coast. Exactly 19 years ago to this day. Excuse me. So of course, today, of course, it was. So, do you remember where you were exactly 19 years ago to this day? It was Monday. It was early Monday morning, August 29th, 2005. As Hurricane Katrina, a very strong, major hurricane, made landfall along the Gulf Coast and of course flooded nearly the entire city of New Orleans. So. Here's what happened as we look back on the 19th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. It would all happen exactly 19 years ago to this day. Between 4:30 a.m. between 4:30 and 5 a.m. Central Daylight Time, between 4:30 and 5 a.m. Central Daylight Time, levees along the Industrial Canal near the I-10 bridge failed on both sides due to metal barriers. Okay, first of all, I want to tell you guys about how destructive Hurricane Katrina was. So I was so busy I didn't post anything in regards to Hurricane Katrina. But next year on its 20th anniversary, I'll be sure. Next year on its 20th anniversary, I'll be sure to make posts and share YouTube videos about my Hurricane Katrina look back. Hurricane Katrina was a devastating and deadly tropical cyclone that caused 1,392 fatalities and damages estimated at $186.3 billion in late August of 2005, particularly in the city of New Orleans and its surrounding area. Katrina was the 12th tropical cyclone, 5th hurricane, and 3rd major hurricane of the 2005 Atlantic hurricane season. It was also the 4th most intense Atlantic hurricane to make landfall in the contiguous United States, gauged by barometric pressure. Katrina formed on Tuesday, August 23, 2005, with a merger of a tropical wave and the remnants of Tropical Depression 10. Early the following day, the depression intensified into a tropical storm and headed generally westward toward Florida. On Thursday, August 25th, 2 hours before making landfall at Hallandale Beach, it strengthened into a hurricane. After briefly weakening to a tropical storm strength over southern Florida, Katrina entered the Gulf of Mexico on Friday, August 26, and rapidly intensified. The storm strengthened into a Category 5 hurricane over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, before weakening to a high-end Category 3 hurricane at its second landfall on Monday, August 29th. That would be 19 years ago today over southeast Louisiana and Mississippi. The largest loss of life in Hurricane Katrina was due to flooding caused by engineering flaws in the flood The largest loss of life in Hurricane Katrina was due to flooding caused by engineering flaws in the flood protection system, particularly the levees around the city of New Orleans. Eventually, 80% of the city, as well as large areas in neighboring parishes, were flooded for weeks. The flooding destroyed most of New Orleans' transportation and communication facilities, leaving tens of thousands of people who did not evacuate the city before landfall with little access to food, shelter, and other necessities. The disaster in New Orleans prompted a massive national and international response effort, including federal, local, and private rescue operations to evacuate those displaced from the city in the following weeks. After the storm, multiple investigations concluded that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, which had designed and built the Regis levees decades earlier, was responsible for the failure of the flood control systems. However, the federal courts later ruled that the Corps could not be held financially liable due to sovereign immunity in the Flood Control Act of 1928. The emergency response from federal, state, and local governments was widely criticized, leading to the resignation of FEMA Director Michael D. Brown and New Orleans Police Department Superintendent Eddie Compass. Many other government officials faced criticism for their responses, especially New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin, Louisiana Governor Kathleen Blanco, and President George W. Bush. However, several agencies such as the United States Coast Guard, National Hurricane Center, and National Weather Service were commended for their actions, with the National Hurricane Center being particularly praised for its accurate forecast well in advance. Katrina was the earliest 11th named storm on record before being surpassed by Tropical Storm Kyle on August 14, 2020. The destruction and loss of life caused by the storm prompted the name Katrina to be retired by the World Meteorological Organization in April 2006. On January 4, 2023, the National Hurricane Center updated the Katrina fatality data based on a report by Rappaport, which reduced the number from an estimated 1,833 to 1,392. The same National Hurricane Center report also revised the total damage estimated to be $190 billion, keeping Hurricane Katrina as the costliest storm on record according to NOAA's National Centers for Environmental Information. So here's a brief look back at the time of what was caused by Katrina exactly 19 years ago to this day. So it's the second and third landfall between 4:30 and 5 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Levees along the Industrial Canal near the I-10 bridge fell on both sides due to metal barriers along this portion of the canal not working, causing sandbags to be put up on both sides. These were destroyed by the 9-foot storm surge entering the canal. Power in the Superdome goes out around 5 a.m. Central Daylight Time. At 6:10 a.m. Central Daylight Time, Hurricane Katrina made its second landfall as a strong Category 3 hurricane near Barras, Louisiana, with sustained winds of more than 125 miles per hour, although Category 4 winds may have briefly affected the area. Katrina continued north into St. Bernard Parish, crossing Lake Borgne, and made its final landfall near the mouth of the Pearl River on the Louisiana-Mississippi border, as a Category 3 storm with winds of 120 miles per hour. Waters began to rush through the Mississippi Gulf outlet and Lake Borgne, converging at the funnel with the Gulf Intracoastal Waterway north of the Lower Ninth Ward. Levees along the eastern portion of the Mississippi Gulf outlet began to be overtopped and destroyed, causing water to start rushing over to the Lower Ninth Ward. By 6:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time, power was lost in much of New Orleans. At the same time, levels at the funnel were overtopped. Waters in the Lower Ninth Ward began to rise faster while waters rushed into the Industrial Canal. At 6:50 a.m. Central Daylight Time, levees all along the Industrial Canal were overtopped. Water surged into the Lower Ninth Ward as levees on three sides of the neighborhood had failed. At 7:45 a.m. Central Daylight Time, the levees on the eastern side of the southern end of the Industrial Canal explosively break, sending 20 feet of water into the Lower Ninth Ward. Houses in the vicinity of the break were destroyed or pushed off their foundations. By 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time, water was seen rising on both sides of the Industrial Canal in New Orleans. Mayor Ray Nagin said that the pumping system in the Lower Ninth Ward had failed. Around 8:30 a.m. and then around 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time, there was 6 to 8 feet of water in the Lower Ninth Ward. At 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time, Hurricane Katrina made its third landfall near Pearlington, Mississippi, and Slidell, Louisiana, with sustained winds of 120 miles per hour after crossing Breton Sound. Around 11 a.m. Central Daylight Time, there was approximately 10 feet of water in St. Bernard Parish. Many of its rooftops were submerged and could not be seen. Around 2 p.m., just a couple hours later, New Orleans officials confirmed a breach of the 17th. Around 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time, New Orleans officials confirmed a breach of the 17th Street Canal levee. In a press conference at 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time, New Orleans Homeland Security Director Terry Eber said that everybody who had a way or wanted to get out of the way of the storm was able to. For some that didn't, it wasn't their last night on this earth. Emergency workers had answered a number of calls from people trapped in trees and attics, and in some cases had been disconnected with those pleading for help. Police fanned out across the city to access damage and rescue people before nightfall. Governor Kathleen Blanco sent 68 school buses from surrounding parishes to begin evacuating survivors in New Orleans. Over 6,900 Army National Guard and 933 Air National Guard were deployed. 7,841 total. The hardest hit areas of the city were the Lower Ninth Ward, New Orleans East, Gentility, St. Bernard, and Plaquemines parishes in Lakeview. FEMA Director Michael Brown asked United States Department Home. FEMA Director Michael Brown asked United States Department of Homeland Security Secretary Michael Chertoff to dispatch 1,000 Homeland Security. FEMA Director Michael Brown asked United States Department of Homeland Security Secretary Michael Chertoff to dispatch 1,000 Homeland Security workers to the region to assist with disaster relief from the near catastrophic event. DHS personnel were told to establish and maintain positive working relationships with disaster-affected communities and collect and disseminate information to make referrals for appropriate assistance. In addition, they were supposed to identify potential issues within the community and report them while conveying a positive image of disaster operations to government officials, community organizations, and the general public. President George W. Bush declared a major disaster for Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama under the authority of the Stafford Act. So I just thought I'd give you guys a brief timeline and recap of the way things were during Hurricane Katrina on its 19th anniversary. And of course, I'll have much more on this next year on the 20th anniversary of Katrina. That will exactly happen That will be exactly happen in about a year from now. And of course, finally today, more than half of us have gotten to receive some much needed rainfall. And better yet, some of us have actually had a wave of storms coming through earlier today. Especially, we've had a line of storms come through early this morning, but we heated up constantly during the daytime, which gave way to another chance of showers and storms that developed either during the late afternoon or the early evening hours. So, of course, storms were not too severe. So we've had a few showers and storms that came passing through the area. So it looks like if you're liking rain and relatively mild, not so hot temperatures, then this is the forecast I have for you, because not only will you need your umbrella. So it looks like that basically for tomorrow, over the next several days, you will more than likely need your umbrella. So it looks like that rain chances could be lingering. So it looks like we could. So here's how things are looking tonight. Expect overnight low temperatures to fall into the low to mid 70s under partly to mostly cloudy skies. Rain chances will be mainly confined to the remainder of the evening across the 4-state region. And here are averages and records for this Thursday. Normal high is 94, normal low is 72. 104 is the record high set on this date back in 1884. 56 is the record low set on this date back in 1986. And of course, we do not have any major watches or warnings issued at this time. And of course, that's the same system that brought us a line of showers and storms that came through the area late this afternoon, earlier this evening. And of course, right now the concentration of the storms is being confined along the portions of the I-30 corridor and parts of East Texas. I want to say is that Sulphur Springs is at Mount Pleasant, and also just north of the is that Longview, somewhere in portions of East Texas along the I-20 corridor into Louisiana. And also, mainly confined from parts of northwest Louisiana, and also in I want to say like south of Mansfield, Logansport, going down as far as Wally's in our area. So finally, we're getting the rain. Looks like this rain is going to stick around for those of you who are enjoying it. And of course, so we're seeing another wave of showers confined, especially in portions of central Arkansas. I say like that's like the Pine Bluff area. And what you see on the regional radar is a cluster of showers and storms along the just off the Texas Gulf Coast around. I say that's off the Houston Galveston area along the Texas Gulf Coast. Again, mostly in northeast Texas and just I'm gonna say that's west of in portions of East Texas along the I-20 corridor, and going up northward towards central Kansas, that's Wichita, and also coming back down south eastward into portions of another small shower and being confined in portions of western Missouri and along the I-40 corridor. I'd say that's like northwest of Fort Smith, Arkansas to Oklahoma, and then back into Arkansas, mostly across central Arkansas within the Little Rock metro area, and in eastern Arkansas, and another portion of northwest Mississippi, and also if you've seen a wave of showers and storms in portions of central Alabama. So quite a bit of activity forming here on this Thursday night. So, like I said, for those of you who didn't, and of course at least more than half of us has had a chance to get soaked by the rains today. So we've had a brief period of showers and storms that came through especially with the strong winds that may some of you may or may not have lost power during the storm. So if you did not get rain at your house today, don't worry. If you do not get rain at your house today, no worries. There's lots more coming. So I have a decent rain. I have several days of deep. I'll let you guys exactly how much rain we could be looking at over the next several days. Temperature outside on this Thursday night is 77 degrees. Skies are cloudy. We have winds from the east at 5 miles per hour. Humidity is 89%. Dew point is 73 degrees. The feels like temperature heat index 78 degrees. With dew points in the 70s, that lets us know that it is humid. It is muggy. It is humid, and the humidity it is not going anywhere. The humidity it is not going anywhere anytime soon. So it is muggy outside. So now here's the hazardous weather outlook in regards to our unsettled weather pattern. The parade of weak upper lows lifting off of the Gulf of Mexico will linger for days, along with a cold front becoming stationary in the heart of the region late this weekend. Scattered showers and thunderstorms may be numerous during peak heating hours, but rainfall amounts will remain light, with an inch or two spread around in this hot and dry month. Some of this activity may be pre-dawn, but most will develop with heating and come to an end around sunset. So no other hazardous weather is expected this time. So we're just going to be dealing with the daily hit or miss scattered showers and thunderstorms with at least a decent chance of rain each day. Like I said, it's not going to rain everywhere every single day. Areas of high temperatures and strong to severe thunderstorms going into the Labor Day weekend. High heat and humidity continues across portions of the mid-Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee valleys Friday. A break in this pattern will develop this holiday weekend. Scattered strong to severe storms are possible across eastern lower Michigan Friday, with more isolated strong to severe storms into parts of the Midwest and also across parts of the Carolinas and Virginia into northeast Georgia. So we're going to be looking at quite a few several days of. So we're going to be looking at quite a few, We're going to be looking at quite a few several days of rain happening around here. So for those of you who missed out on the rain, because I'm sure everyone has at least had a chance to see some rain. So again, nothing active in the tropics happening right now, even on this 19th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. But the weather pattern, at least for basically much of the next week or so, at least with the next 7 to 10 days and possibly even longer, could linger as the number of weak upper lows along the stationary cold front, the stationary boundary. That's going to keep itself. That's what's going to keep our weather pattern unsettled with the pattern of clouds and rain in the forecast each day too. So we're finally come to think of it, much of this the entire month has been rather hot and dry. So after reaching the century mark 16 times this summer, I did mention to you guys that we will finally see a break in our hot and dry pattern that we've been in for much of this month. So it looks like that. So the ridge of high pressure has been the ridge of high pressure, which has dominated our weather pattern for the vast majority of this month, has moved off. It's been replaced by a stationary boundary, giving us a chance of clouds to speak. So for the first time in just over a month, we're seeing a cloud. Remember that last full week of July when we last had a week's worth of cloudy of rainy weather, but the clouds and rain. So we're getting back the extended long run of periods of clouds and rain. It looks like this weather pattern for some of you could last possibly even longer than what you can imagine. So tonight, it would be warm and humid. It would mostly cloudy, warm and humid. It would so tonight. So again, so tonight it would be warm and humid with mostly cloudy skies. That at least with the slight chance of a shower, thunderstorm or two possible. With the low of 76, we have an east southeast wind at 5 miles. Along with a couple showers and thunderstorms possible late this evening, it will be mostly cloudy, warm and humid tonight. With the low of 76, we have winds from the east southeast at 5 miles per hour. Chance of rain 20%, at least a 20%, 20 to 30% chance overnight of storms. And tomorrow, again, it will be mostly cloudy and humid with a few thunderstorms with parts of the area. So tomorrow will be more like that. I'm thinking they will have more cloud cover. Now we made it to the mid 90s for a daytime high temperature earlier today, but tomorrow with clouds, that should help keep daytime high temperatures. That should help keep temperatures in check with the clouds around. So we're going to close out the week with very unsettled weather, but it's not going to rain the entire day. We have some periods of clouds and sunshine, but with more clouds expected tomorrow, that should keep our daytime high temperature held in the mid 80s. With the high of 86, with most cloudy and humid with a few thunderstorms in spots. With the high of 86, we have east southeast winds at 7 miles per hour, chance of rain 40%. And tomorrow night for those area high school football games, it's the high school football season officially kicks off. We have partly mostly cloudy skies. We have partly cloudy and humid with a slight chance of a shower, a thunderstorm or two. So head out to any high school football games tomorrow evening. Your best bet is to go ahead and grab those umbrellas. So temperatures most likely will remain steady, mostly in the mid 70s. So we will not see temperatures dropping much overnight tonight, as we'll most likely be stuck in the mid 70s with partly mostly cloudy skies, safe for a slight chance of rain. At 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, we should be at 76 degrees with partly cloudy skies. 9 a.m. tomorrow morning with clouds, we should be at 80 degrees. Noon tomorrow with thunderstorms, we should be at 86 degrees. 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon with thunderstorms, we should be at 83 degrees. 6 p.m. tomorrow evening with skies will be cloudy with a temperature of 84 degrees. 9 p.m. tomorrow night with partly cloudy skies, we should be at 79 degrees. So again, get used to rain. Get used to these daily rain chances because these daily rain chances, they're going to stick around for a while. Because this upper level pattern, it does not seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. Here's what the next 7 to 10 days are looking like. After low temperature night, 76 degrees with partly mostly cloudy skies, safe for a slight rain chance. Tomorrow, we'll close out the week. It will be mostly cloudy and humid with a few thunderstorms. It will be mostly cloudy and humid with a few thunderstorms in spots. High of 86, low of 74. Winds will be from the east southeast at 7 miles per hour. Chance of rain 30%. And also going into your Labor Day weekend, for those of you with weekend plans, just keep the umbrellas handy. Just be sure to keep an eye to the sky. It will be mostly cloudy and humid with a few showers and thunderstorms. likely with the high of 87, low of 73. Winds will be from the east southeast at 7 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Sunday, we have partly cloudy skies with a few showers and thunderstorms. We have partly cloudy skies with showers and thunderstorms likely. With the high of 88, low of 75. Winds will be from the east southeast at 6 miles per hour. Chance of rain 70%. And of course, going into your Labor Day, it would be mainly cloudy, mostly cloudy and humid with diffuse showers and thunderstorms. Outdoor plans can be impacted, so please plan accordingly if you can. And just keep an eye to the sky. Just with the high of 88, low of 72. Winds will be from the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Chance of rain 60%. Tuesday, of course, so it would be partly cloudy and humid with the slight chance of a shower and thunderstorm possible. High of 90, low of 74. Winds will be from the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Chance of rain 20%. And the rain chances ramp back up again toward the middle of next week. It'll be mostly cloudy and humid with a few showers and thunderstorms mostly in the afternoon. High of 92, low of 75. Winds will be from the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Chance of rain 60%. And it looks like that rain chance increases even greater going into your next Thursday of next week from today. Cloudy and humid with showers and thunderstorms likely. High of 85, low of 71. Winds will be from the east southeast at 7 miles per hour. Chance of rain 70%. It looks like that rain chance will continue even to your next Friday, which is the 6th, with the 30% rain chance, highs in the upper 80s. And then we start to dry with highs in the upper 80s for next Saturday and Sunday. That's respectively the 7th and 8th. And no rain is expected on either day. So again, because we have clouds and the daily rain chance, that's going to keep our high temperatures well below normal for this time of year, which is nice for a change. We'll have highs mainly 80s throughout the entire holiday weekend, mostly in the mid to upper 80s over the entire holiday weekend. We'll see temperatures in the low 90s for Tuesday and Wednesday. We're back into the mid 80s on the time we get to next Thursday. So basically, over the next several days, we'll have our high temperatures will be at or below normal thanks to clouds and rain. With only 2 days we have highs mostly in the 80s each day with the exception of Tuesday and Wednesday, thanks to upper level low. And that upper level pattern that's going to be hanging around the area for a while. Now your rain chances 30% tomorrow, 50% Saturday, 70% Sunday, 60% for Monday, which is Labor Day, 20% Tuesday, 60% Wednesday, 70% Thursday. That's all the time that I have for you guys. This ends my video with you guys for the night. You guys have a good night. Sleep peacefully. Take care of yourselves and each other. Most of all, remain blessed and stay safe. Thank you.